in my head about my channel, about the videos I've been doing, or should I say not been doing, about what I've wanted for my channel and what the reality actually is. It's been so hard for me to do anything, to put up. I mean, like to film, to edit, to find. It's really just a matter. Like, I have not had the time. I have not been in the mind space. I've just been suffering just severe creative block for the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months of just an insane monumental proportions that it's so weird because, like, there's nothing more that I want to do right now than to create, than to just be sort of the way I was before this all kind of started to happen. I mean, when I started YouTube, that was about, I would say a bit over a year ago, maybe about a year. I think probably like February of last year was when I started, and that was a completely different channel. I was doing Let's Plays, pretty much just me talking, just bullshitting over a game that I was playing. I mean, it wasn't like super popular stuff. I mean, like, I don't really do it for the popularity, for the views or anything. I just do it because it's fun, and it really sparks something inside me. Like, I feel kind of, I don't know, fulfilled. Just like I'm creating something. I mean, like, yeah, so back then I was in a different job. It allowed me a little bit more flexibility. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of jobs, but I mean, if there was downtime at that job, I would be able to, like, you know, just sneak in a bit of editing here and there. And then when I'd come home, I'd have like a good, like, 2 to 3 hours before, like, my now wife would come home, and then we'd spend time together, because I don't want to kind of be doing this when we're together. I feel like I'm kind of ignoring her. I mean, like, not all the time, but like, I want to, you know, be available. I think during that time I wanted to be available and not kind of in my own world all the time. I mean, like, now I feel comfortable doing it, of course. I mean, but like back then I was sort of like, you know, I've got this time, I'll use the time I'm alone to do this thing that is very, you know, one person kind of thing. So that was last year when I started the YouTube, and you know, I would be able to put up, I would have a good backlog of videos that I could put up, like 2 or 3. At any given time I would be able to just like bank them and then just release them gradually over the course of a week or something. And then I got a new job, and then just before I got a new job, I had a trip to Uzbekistan. And if you've been on this channel, you've seen that I've had a few videos which I've called Julesbekistan. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start filming all these, and I'm gonna start filming on this vacation, and I'll come back and then I'll cut together this big series of me traveling there, and I'll start a new channel for it, and then I'll use that channel to do other non-gaming stuff, because while I was doing the Let's Plays, I did a few, like, you know, silly fake unboxings and put myself on camera, and I thought I had a lot of fun doing them, and I thought, you know, I actually enjoy this a lot more than making this video game content. I mean, so I decided, you know, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's something that I think I've always wanted to do this kind of thing, but it's just sort of, you know, I didn't really realize it. It's something that, you know, once you start doing it, you realize that this is what you really wanted to do. Yeah, so I went on my trip to Uzbekistan. I came back, and when I came back, I started my new job. And when I started my new job, the hours are a lot different. It was like my previous job, I started at about 6 o'clock in the morning and I finished at about 4 p.m. It's really insane hours, but, you know, I'm kind of a morning person, and, you know, I did actually get used to it after a while. And it did allow for me to have time in the evenings to do stuff. Anyway, started a new job. It's an 8 to 5:30 job, and it was a lot different from my old job. I pretty much completely unsupervised in the office, but there's only one other person in this company, which is my boss, my new boss. And you'd think that, if you're left completely unsupervised, you could probably, get away with a lot of things, but no. After working here for a bit, I started trying to, work in a little bit of time here and there to do a bit of editing just so I could, get some content ready to put up. And it worked for a little while, but then, it was at a much slower rate than when I was at my old job. And when I'd finish, I'd get home and I'd only really have about an hour to do stuff before my wife came home, and then we'd be, having dinner and stuff, and then after that, it's so hard to get back into it. And so the amount of time I had to work on the stuff became a lot less. And then after a while working at this job, it came to light that I was not doing too well in this new job of mine, and my boss kind of let me know that I wasn't doing too well. And I think that really kind of got inside my head, because from the sounds of it, she wasn't too impressed with the quality of work I was putting out. And I don't remember what it was, but she was sort of expecting me to be 100% in this job, which, of course, I am 100% in this job, but I also have my own interests. But she wanted a person who was 100% in the interest department, parallel to my job, which is actually graphic design, which is not something that I've ever really been interested in, but it's something that I somehow managed to turn into my profession, mainly because I was very misguided when I was young, and I kind of fell into the trap by listening to a lot of people telling me that, I grew up, my training is more so in animation, illustration, but somehow I ended up doing graphic design, which I don't really have passion for. Anyway, so ever since that happened, there was sort of a little meeting that I had with my boss. That's when everything kind of changed. My faith in myself as a creator kind of completely was rocked to the core, because I thought I was doing okay, but it was never really clearly communicated to me that I was not doing good at this job. And graphic design is a creative kind of field, but when you're sort of told that, the quality of what you're doing is not good, it sort of what happened, I think, was it reverberated throughout all my other interests creatively. And then because the one that's paying is the one that, I go to every day and that takes up all my time, I think it kind of just made me think that, oh my gosh, I have to focus on this thing, which I don't like, but it pays. And then it kind of affected everything else I was doing. So I stopped doing videos, I stopped doing animation. I used to do DJ mixes and put them online, and I stopped doing that too. And I think it's just kind of come to this point now, months on since this big revelation, that I am so just frustrated. Let's just say that I can't do these videos that I like, even though I haven't even really done that many. I've done maybe, besides the Uzbekistan ones, I've done 5 or 6 other ones. I've got a lot of ideas of what I'd like to do, but I don't have that same time that I had when I was at my old job to kind of do just do it just for the shit sake of doing it anymore. It's so frustrating. I think I already said that. But I think for pretty much all my life until the last 8 to 10 months, I've been sort of fortunate enough to, whenever something creative takes my fancy, I can just give it a go. I mean, like, I will always like give it a try. I might not be successful at it, but I would do it, and I just keep doing it until it either like something else. I know it's not good practice, but like either something else catches my eye, and then I move on to that and do that, or like it runs its course, and that's it. But I've always been able to do that. I've always been able to just do all the creative things that I wanted to. I just have the drive to do it, and then put whatever it is out there. And I don't know what's happened, but like the drive is there, but the spirit is just like so crushed that I can't bring myself to do it. Every day I come home and I am so mentally just drained, because it's like at my job, I'm alone in that office, and every time the phone rings, it's usually my boss calling to tell me that I've done something wrong with my work or something. And it's not like I'm trying to make mistakes. Who actually goes out of the way to make mistakes? I don't want to make mistakes in my work, but that's what happens. And it's at the point where whenever a phone rings, I get this panic in my chest, because I feel like, I've done something wrong. Even if it's just like walking down the street and I hear a phone ring, it's really, really bad. But anyway, I've gotten to the point where I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. I can't just keep going to work every day and just wanting to do more with my life, wanting to do all this stuff creatively, having all this pent up creative energy, and not being able to expend it properly. I do graphic design, yes, it's a creative job, but it's not using my creative energy. It's using the robot zombie part of my brain, which knows that I got to put this thing here, I got to put that thing there, I got to make sure this is aligned to that, this company wants this, like that, blah 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 blah. I can't do that anymore. I don't know if I can do that anymore. I mean, tomorrow I will still go into work and I will still do that, but something really needs to change. I need to get back into doing these videos, and I need to get back to doing them my way, the way that I want to do them. I mean, I tried doing unboxing videos. I'm sure you might have seen them, and I don't know. I feel like the only reason I was doing them was because they were easy, and I could quickly do them and then put them up, and then it would be up there and it would be content, and it was okay, I guess. I mean, they're not the best videos in the world, but I know I can do better than what I've done. I know I can create better content than just, oh, here's a toy and I'm gonna unbox it now. Ooh, look at that. Look, it's the company here. You can put it in this pose. Comes with different faces. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there are like 1,000,001 videos out there of people doing that all the time, and I don't know if that's what I want to do. But anyway, in a week, I'm going to Korea with my wife for our honeymoon. I'm hoping to do a lot of filming while I'm there, and I'm hoping that when I get back, I'll be able to put that online. But that's not the only thing I want to do. I want to create other kinds of videos, maybe something stupid, or like a stupid little skit, or just maybe talk like I am now, and just putting that out there, like just what's going on in my life. I don't know if people would be interested in what's going on in my life or not, but I don't know, maybe it will fulfill something inside of me that's just I don't really understand right now. I mean, like, or maybe I've just lost sight of. I mean, anyone who's known me knows that I'm always putting out something out there, whether it's like drawings or my mixes or little animations or I don't know, just anything at all. And I miss doing that so much. It's just, it's like a part of me that I've kind of lost or locked up away, and it's beating, trying to get out, but just, I don't know why, I don't know how to get him out of there. There's a lock there that just is so hard to crack at the moment because of what's been going on in the last however many months. But I don't want to sit around just pining and complaining that, oh, I can't do this, why aren't I doing this? And then, like, you know, I sit in front of the television for the rest of the night or something. I want to put that stuff out there, whatever's that's in here out there. I'm talking in circles right now, but I don't know what I expect to come of this video. I don't even know if I'll follow through, but, you know, a part of me thinks that just kind of putting this out there is, you know, the first step in kind of a longer journey. I don't know. I'm not a very smart person. I don't imagine many people will watch it, but it's going to be there at least for posterity. I don't know what that means, but I assume it means something like, oh, you know, we'll look back on it someday and this is what it was like, and then we'll see how much better life is now compared to back then, which is now. Anyway.
Doing stuff with Jules on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe. Doing stuff with Jules on YouTube.